I have done something, oh God, I've done something real at last. Just let those words sink in for a moment. These are the words of a man who has literally just walked through absolute fire. Before we dive into the life-altering midnight shift of a young physician named Dr. Andrew Manson, I really want you to reflect on your own life. What does it actually mean for you, deep down, to feel that you have accomplished something entirely, undeniably real?
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are going to slowly and carefully unpack a tense, high-stakes medical drama from A.J. Cronin's famous narrative, Birth. Since we all know the basic plot, we are going to dive straight in. We'll explore how a single night in a small mining town tests the very limits of human endurance and medical training. But more importantly, we will uncover some incredibly deep, meaningful lessons that you can directly apply to the everyday crises we face in our own lives.
Section 1. The Midnight Call.
Right, let us set the scene. It is nearly midnight in the quiet Welsh mining town of Blaenelly. Young Dr. Andrew Manson is returning home, newly out of medical school. He is completely exhausted and carries a heavy, conflicted heart after a pretty disappointing evening with the woman he loves. He desperately expects to just get some rest, but fate has a different plan, doesn't it? Waiting for him in the quiet mystery of the night air is a burly driller named Joe Morgan. Joe and his wife have been married for nearly 20 long years, and now, finally, they are expecting their first child.
Now think about the immense weight of expectation falling directly onto this young doctor's shoulders. When they finally reach number 12 Blaina Terrace, Joe Morgan actually stops. His voice shows clear signs of strain. He refuses to even enter his own house out of sheer, overwhelming nervousness. He simply looks at the doctor and says, "I'll not come in, but man, I know you'll do well for us." Just imagine having to carry that kind of desperate, blind trust into a medical room.
Section 2. A Desperate Dilemma.
Inside the house, the atmosphere shifts completely. Up a narrow stair, in a clean but poorly furnished bedroom lit only by an oil lamp, two women are waiting. An elderly midwife and the expecting mother's 70-year-old mother. They are sitting there, watching the young doctor with these wise, probing eyes, silently praying he won't let them down. Downstairs, while drinking tea by the slow tick-tock of the kitchen clock, Dr. Manson's mind begins to morbidly wander. We have all been there, right? When profound physical exhaustion allows the dark thoughts to creep in. He thinks of his colleagues, trapped in dismal, failed marriages. He is deeply, paralyzingly conflicted between his logical, doubting mind and his overflowing heart that still wants to believe in an idyllic love.
After a harsh, agonizing struggle that lasts until the very first streaks of dawn stray past the window blinds, the unthinkable happens. The child is born, but it is lifeless. A shiver of absolute horror passes over Dr. Manson. After all the silent promises made to Joe Morgan standing outside in the dark, this devastating outcome is a doctor's absolute worst nightmare.
We now reach the absolute abyss of our young doctor's journey. Consider this harrowing, urgent dilemma. On one side, the mother, Susan Morgan, lies collapsed, almost pulseless, her strength rapidly ebbing away. On the other side, the seemingly stillborn child has been hastily pushed beneath the bed by the frightened midwife. When seconds are violently ticking away and upending all logic, who do you actually save first?
Section 3. The Frantic Race.
Doing the needful, Dr. Manson blindly and instinctively prioritizes the mother. It is a frantic race against her fading life. He smashes a glass ampule, injects the medicine, and works unsparingly to restore the flaccid woman. Miraculously, her heart strengthens. She is safe. But the battle is only half won. Swinging around, he pulls the limp child from the sodden newspapers beneath the bed. The boy is perfectly formed but white and soft as tallow. Dr. Manson immediately diagnoses it as asphyxia pallida. It's a severe suffocation from lack of oxygen, marked by pale skin and a weak pulse. This stark, clinical reality violently crashes into the emotional nightmare of the room.
His mind, unnaturally tense, races back to a past case he had witnessed at the Samaritan Hospital. The medical textbooks give absolutely no immediate comfort here, but visceral memory sparks action. Instantly, he is on his feet. He urgently demands hot and cold water basins from the faltering nurse. When she hesitates, completely paralyzed by the tragedy, he simply shouts at her, "Quick!"
Section 4. Reviving the Lifeless.
Let us carefully observe how he fights back the creeping darkness, choosing a deeply unconventional path. Acting like a frantic juggler, he splashes cold water into one basin and steaming water into another. Desperately, he plunges the infant back and forth between the two baths. After 15 minutes of this, dripping with sweat and panting for breath, there is still zero result. So, in one last despairing effort, he takes a rough towel. He rubs the child, crushing and releasing the little chest with both his hands, trying by sheer brute physical force to get breath back into that limp body.
And then, after half an hour of what he felt was a raging hopelessness, it actually happens. A short, convulsive heave occurs under his hands. Another and another. The sense of life springing beneath his fingers after all that unavailing striving was so exquisite it almost made him faint. The child gasps. An iridescent bubble of mucus comes from a tiny nostril. The blanched white skin slowly turns pink. Finally, a joyful cry pierces the room. The child is alive.
Section 5. Something real at last. The aftermath is incredibly profound. The room is left a shuddering litter of soiled instruments, blankets, and puddles of water. Yet amidst this chaotic, draggled mess, the 70-year-old grandmother stands against the wall with her hands together, silently praying. Having secured an absolute miracle, and having told an expectant Joe Morgan outside that both mother and child are perfectly all right, Dr. Manson walks into the morning light. It is nearly 5 o'clock. His footfalls echo slowly, along with the first of the night shift miners moving out. You see, he is, at his core, a fundamentally transformed man.
Section 6. Textbooks versus real life. My friends, this remarkable story brings us to a profound thematic lesson, one that we can directly apply to our own daily struggles. The text directly challenges us. What truly separates theoretical, bookish knowledge from the messy, high-stakes reality of actual, on-the-ground practice? Textbooks provide structured logic and rules, certainly, but life does not happen in a controlled, sterile laboratory environment. Life happens in the messy, unpredictable, and often chaotic moments of midnight. Dr. Manson succeeded because he trusted his remembered intuition rather than giving in to rigid panic. Faced with 2 dying patients, he quickly prioritized the most urgent need. Most importantly, he maintained a relentless physical and mental effort even when his own brain told him it was a state of raging hopelessness. Whether you are in a clinic, a boardroom, or managing a crisis in your own home, true understanding and true victory are rarely neat. They are born from practical, messy, determined execution. And so, we return to the very words that started it all. As we leave Dr. Manson echoing his triumphant realization into the morning sky, we must ask ourselves today, when the standard rules are simply not enough to guide us through our own crises, what messy, difficult, but ultimately real things are we prepared to strive for? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep striving for what is real.